Hey guys, Ghibli here. So this is the V7 by Bloody Tech. It's the V7MA actually. So it's got the metal feet. So here's the box it comes in. Opens up. Here you have the mouse. All the information about the new metal feet that are involved, the 1 millisecond response time, all the different modes, and stuff about the software as well. Now that's what you get in the box. You have two bloody handprint stickers. Put that on whatever you want. I don't know what I'm going to do with mine just yet. You have the manual, so it gives you all the information that you need to know. Very useful, how to start it up, how to use the software. Keep that very important. Also, you get a card where you can download the software to use for the mouse. So we'll talk a little bit about the software in a little bit. But let's talk about the mouse right now. So first impressions is it looks great. It's very pleasing to the eye. It looks like something that would feel comfortable in my hand. It's very light, so it's not going to weigh me down while I play. It's not too light though. You still feel like it's a solid object. It's not fragile. It's tough stuff. You have two buttons right here on the left hand side, right next to your thumb. Three on the top right here. 1, 2, 3. And off you have the scroll wheel, and then obviously the all standard mouse stuff. Braided cable, long braided cable, which is great for gamers. We all love those. And on the back, since this is the MA version, you have the metal gliding feet, which really helps out making your gameplay a smooth experience. So very, very important. Very nice mouse. So let's hop into all the software stuff right now. So this is the Bloody 4 software that comes with all of the Bloody mice. Now you have three options. You have Core 1, you have Core 2, and you have Core 3. I consider Core 1 like the MMO core because it allows the buttons underneath the scroll wheel, 1, N, and 3, to become rebindable. Core 2 is for FPS, first-person shooters, and it doesn't allow for those buttons to be rebindable. Instead, 1 becomes single shot, N becomes 2 burst shot, and 3 becomes 3 burst shots. So it allows for more diversity in the way that you play your shooters, as well as, you could do a little bit more. But besides that, all the stuff is kind of pretty straightforward standard. You can't really adapt too many macros for it or anything like that. Core 3, on the other hand, is completely customizable. It's meant for, senior first-person shooters who kind of know what they're doing with their mice, what they exactly want. It even has specific functions for certain games, and you can do a whole bunch more. I personally will be using Core 1 as I am an MMO player, and I really enjoy having those 3 buttons being able to be rebound. So to do that, by the way, you go into the button function, and here's where you could rebind all the buttons. Now, especially the 1, the N, and the 3, you can rebind them to whatever you want. You have different functions. You click on those little arrows, and it has a drop-down menu of what you want to do. You can make a specific preset function or a keyboard stroke or whatever. It could be whatever you want it to be. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple, just like a lot of other stuff. You also have different profiles. You can pick between, standard, gaming 2, gaming 3. Pretty straightforward stuff, just like a lot of other software out there. So, it's laid out in a way where it's easy to understand. It's easy to rebind your buttons, which is incredibly important to people who play MMOs or have lots of different binds to do. Now, this is the sensitivity section of the software, where you can basically set the sensitivity to whatever you want it to be. And you can do that for the X and the Y axis. You can make them two different. So if you have a specific X or Y axis you want to do, you can. You can also add and subtract how many different options that you have while, adjusting your sensitivity. You have the report rate, the hertz. I keep mine at max. And then you have the key response, which goes all the way from 1 millisecond to 18 milliseconds. These mice are known for being the fastest in the world with 1 millisecond response times. I highly suggest keeping them at 1 millisecond unless you don't want to. Now, you have also the CPI setting right there on the right hand side, little question mark. What you want to do is you want to click on that, and it shows you how to adjust the CPI of your mouse to make it more sensitive. So what you do is you double click on the 1 button until the scroll wheel starts flashing, and then you use the scroll wheel to scroll through the different functions as seen right here. I'll keep mine back at 1200. That's where I like to be. But it adds for some, different functions, and it's pretty straightforward, easy to use. Now the guard is just basically all the different types of like information you know about your mouse, like battery, the sensor performance, little stuff like that you can further tweak and play with to have the exact feel that you want for your mouse. It's a really strong way of manipulating your mouse to get what you want. You can also just change, the brightness settings of the bloody hand and et cetera, et cetera. So let's look at Core 2 for the FPS shooters and stuff. Pretty cool. So when it's changing the core, it'll change everything and it'll reset. It'll lower the DPI or CPI and everything. So everything's basically the same in button, except you don't have the option to rebind the 1, the N, and the 3. You can't rebind those anymore. Those have a specific function. Sensitivity, all the same, doesn't really change. It does reset it though, so you have to completely change everything. Now, one thing to mention about these mice as well is the fact that it saves all the settings inside of the mouse itself. So if you're going to a different, like a LAN party or competition, you're going to be able to have those settings on your mouse, so it'll keep all those settings for you. Really useful feature. That way you don't have to have the software on another computer or anything. Now the Gun 3 is going to show you what all the different functions do. You have the first function, which is just a single shot, second function for the 2 burst, and the third function for the 3 burst. Now the Core 3 is the most advanced one. You'll see you unlock all the different features of the software. Button stays the same as all the other ones, except for, RPG mode, sensitivity, and then the Ultra Gun 3. And also for more information on all the mice that we carry, including the V7 and all the nerdalicious specifications that I won't bore you guys with today, you can check them out at bloodytech.net as well as bloodyusa.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, if you guys want to check out my friend Vuxy's video on the R8, awesome video. It's another one of our mice. It's our wireless version of the R8 type of thing, kind of around that. You guys can also follow me on twitch.tv/Ghibli and on Twitter at Sir Ghibli. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe.